It's not sports of the best kind. It's not sports of the worst kind. It's sports
kind of the average kind.
That's right. That's right, Eric. And you have it tuned to another episode of Average Sports with your average guys, Eric and Ty. Glad to have you guys tune in. If it's your first time, we're just breaking down things of all sports, any sports, whatever sports we want to talk about in our most average way. And let's jump in right to it. And actually, Eric, what are we not talking about?
Well,
in this
we always
episode?
have something we're not talking about. And today it's going to be the Summer League of the NBA. It's preseason basketball. I don't know why they get so much coverage, but they're certainly not going to get here. So, next thing.
All right, moving on. Yeah, there's plenty of basketball for the fall and the rest of the year. So let's talk about what sports we have been watching. Baseball won an all-star game, some high drama. It was, not a big surprise that American League won. So, all right, good for them.
Yeah.
Good thing it doesn't mean much anymore. So
no, it doesn't mean anything anymore, and I'm kind of glad that it doesn't.
Yeah. Wimbledon, though, was kind of a tale of two stories there. The women's final, another first ever, which we had talked about that in previous episodes, where 2019's been a lot of first-time championships for teams and individuals. Don't count the Super Bowl, of course, or the NCAA double. So football, in other words, doesn't count in that conversation. But Simone Halep, first
Simone
win.
Halep, congratulations!
It's her
on the women's
second Grand Slam title, but first time she ever won Wimbledon. So congrats going out to her.
It's a big deal, man.
And then
I like Wimbledon of the tennis majors more than Grand Slam.
The grass doesn't quite hold up by the end, but it
doesn't. But it's exciting because you can't find a grass court anywhere else, pretty much. I mean, I'm sure there's a few very private clubs.
Yeah, you can find grass.
Can't get into
Actually, in St. Louis, where we are, when we record this right now, there's a grass court. I'll tell you about it sometime.
Actually,
you can do
it. By it. I know where it is.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
all right.
I know where it is.
For the men's, though, moving on, Djokovic took on Federer. This is the third time they've met in the finals.
I know.
And it's crazy. They broke a record in this matchup. Djokovic took Federer, and to close it out for the longest match ever played in the Wimbledon's final. That includes their fifth set tiebreak.
Yeah, tiebreaker, which you have to play to 7 and then win by 2, and it went you have to win by 1. Once you get to it,
you win by 2 in the tiebreaker.
Or sorry, you win by 2 in the tiebreaker. Yeah, so Djokovic pulled it out. I mean,
it's
possibly
crazy.
The two greatest tennis players ever.
Yeah.
To play the game, and I'm sure
Federer
Nadal is also up there as well. Let's not.
Oh, sure.
Count him out.
But Federer has won quite a bit at that stage, and
yes, he has. He's done really well at Wimbledon.
And he had 3 different opportunities, I believe, or at least 2 others of actually taking that whole match on. So that was quite a match to watch there. That was over 4.5 hours. The women's final, dude, it was less than an hour. That's how much Halep cleaned up. So pretty wild. I have a quick question, though, for you.
Yeah, what you got?
Serena Williams, is she done?
No, she was in the finals, man.
There you go. That's the logic I come to expect. Yes. I've heard some people, though, come up and just say, oh, she's just washed up. No, she's making the finals all the time.
She's in the finals.
Now, okay, another question, though. Is she going to win another Grand Slam before the end of her career?
For the end of her career, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
100%.
Okay, I buy that.
100%. I'm super confident in that.
All right. You have a bit of a sports thing to talk about here. Before we jump into it, I just want to real quick add my last bit is that Bennington from the Blues, Stanley Cup champion Blues. I can't say it enough. Bennington, the goalie, rookie, signed to a 2-year deal. I think that's pretty exciting.
2-year deal, about $4.5 million. It's a little bit lower than I thought, but that kind of makes sense because they still got Jake Allen on the payroll, and they're also paying him about $4.5 million. So they are committing quite a bit of money to that goaltender spot. They probably need to try and figure something out for him, but he costs a lot of money too. So, first thing for you, welcome back stateside, my friend.
You've been I was gone the last couple of weeks.
So
traveling around.
A little absent out there for our fans listening that we missed a week. It was because someone was overseas.
I was honeymooning.
Enjoying himself on his honeymoon. So congratulations to that.
Thanks, Eric.
And a bit more to kind of a heavy heart story. Tyler Skaggs of the Anaheim Angels passed away very recently here in his hotel room when they were on a trip in Texas. The Angels just returned home yesterday on July 13th. I'm specifically calling out that date because it has meaning here. When they returned home, Tyler's mom had the first pitch of the game. Every single player wore number 45 with Tyler's name on it as well. Mike Trout crushed a 454-foot home run, so the numbers 4 or 5 are also in there. I think that's kind of cool. They combined to have a no-hitter against Seattle. They won the game 13-0. And actually, July 13th is Tyler Skaggs' birthday.
Wow.
The other really cool fact about this is the last time a no-hitter was pitched in the state of California was July 13th, 1991, Tyler Skaggs' very first birthday. So kind of a lot goes into that. I think it's a little bit.
There's a lot of coincidences.
A little bit unique,
there.
Yeah. There's some other stuff around, when there's deaths in families and things like that that pop up. Brett Favre threw the 4 touchdowns on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
D. Gordon, had his only home run of the season right after Jose Fernandez had his boating accident. Isaiah Thomas, after his sister died in a car crash on her birthday, he had a miraculous game as well too. So
just shows that athletes or anyone, I guess, as maybe human nature, you just refocus yourself amidst tragedy, because that was some real sudden, unexpected news, of course.
Yeah,
and
we saw him pitch here when he was in St. Louis. He pitched in that series against the Cardinals.
Yeah, so very sudden, very tragic. I'm glad to see the team rally though, and get to take a hold of the situation. So best of luck to the rest of their season, their organization. The Angels, by the way, are 6-4 in their last 10. They're moving up in the ranks to 2 games above 500, which still in 4th place in that division, but 2 games above is actually pretty good division. If you're the NL Central. That's a pretty solid team.
Yeah, that's a tough division to win. They're definitely going to have to
sure, they're going to need to do a lot more, especially in that league. But having a winning season at this point now,
good for them.
On a winning trend. Looking at our topic for the episode of Average Sports, today we're talking about the NBA and free agents that are still out there. Some free agent headline news. Maybe you don't know what's going on. Like, I actually didn't know that Durant already moved on. We talked about this.
I'm just going to blame it on the fact that you're on your honeymoon for
thank you.
3 weeks.
Yes, I have not been paying much attention to the sports, and that's why we have a show like this. So for anyone who takes some time off and needs to know, what I missed. The Nets, Brooklyn Nets, got Durant, and that's going to be that's a pretty good grab for them.
That's a big land for them.
It is.
It's the second-rate team in New York. Everyone thinks of quote unquote the Knicks as the team, although the Knicks suck. Let's be real. But they got Kevin Durant, they got Kyrie Irving as well too. So they're in the makings there of a really solid team. Now, obviously, the catch is Durant tore his Achilles last year, or not even
right. How healthy is
ago.
He? Right.
He's not going to be back till at the earliest late season.
Right.
So Kyrie Irving's really going to have to carry this team, and it didn't work out super well for him in Boston. So we'll kind of see how that pans out for the Brooklyn Nets. But once Durant gets back, and Kyrie Irving, who claims that he wants to be the superstar but can't seem to do it, he's going to have to play second fiddle to Kevin Durant, which is probably where Kyrie Irving truly belongs. He's more of a second fiddle kind of player.
Let's touch base, because most people already know this news. The one of the biggest NBA headlines currently, of course, was the trade from OKC and Houston.
Yeah.
Let's break that down.
Yeah. So there were a couple things that OKC did. Before they traded Russell Westbrook, they traded Paul George, and they had just re-signed him. They traded him to the Lakers. So Paul George moves to the Lakers, and then you also had them trade away Russell Westbrook to the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
So now, the landscape of the Oklahoma City Thunder is just, they got Chris Paul back in that trade. So really, it's just more they are fully committing to a rebuild at this point, knowing that they can't compete with what's out.
Oh, west. Absolutely. They're just going to lean on Paul to be this veteran and be a voice of the league in that locker room, to say how things are done and
to help transition for them.
Exactly. That's clearly what they have broadcast themselves. And they did, out of that trade, I believe, get 2 first-round draft picks.
Yeah, there were some draft picks that came along with it. So, I think this is what OKC is trying to do is, maybe they're not going to fully tank, but I don't know that they want to make the playoffs. when you look at it, especially in the NBA, if you make the playoffs and you're maybe like that 8 seed, especially in the West, like good luck, man.
Oh yeah,
it's not going to happen. It's almost NBA has traditionally been one of those like if you
need to dominate.
If you can, you either need to dominate or you're in rebuild mode.
Right.
The East is a little bit different, but in particular in the West, it's either dominate or try and get that first draft pick. That you can. So get Zion Williamson, the next Zion Williamson, if that happens.
Yeah.
But for Houston, they definitely jumped up the radar there. Chris Paul's definitely getting older. He's on his 4th team now. He's on his 4th team now, and he's definitely up there in age. And I think that someone like Russell Westbrook to play along James Harden, that's going to be interesting because both of them love the ball quite a bit. They're kind of ball hogs, so I'm a little interested to see how that works. Now, James Harden can't assist, but he likes to be the playmaker.
Well, they have played together before.
Yeah, they have.
They have the history. There's no doubt having been in the same league. I don't know the conference rather. Yeah. Excuse me. That they played several games against each other as well to date now.
Yes, they
did. They're well aware of each other's strengths, skills, the way they've progressed in the league. I bet it's going to be a pretty good fit.
Yeah.
Never seemed like there were any issues in OKC. It's just that Harden wanted that little more share of the spotlight.
Yeah, he did. I mean, some newer NBA fans may not even know that Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden were once on the same team.
It doesn't feel that long ago.
It doesn't.
That was a good team. Yeah.
2012, something like that.
Right. And they should have won one, but I think that was Dallas's year, right?
No, that was Miami Heat. They dominated. They got dominated by the Heat. They weren't ready to take on LeBron James Heat.
No.
And then some of the other big moves. Obviously, everyone probably knows about this too. Kawhi Leonard moves on from Toronto. He signs with the Clippers.
Crazy.
That's a big move.
Raises a trophy and packs his bags.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. He's not there anymore, guys.
Yeah.
So that's a big one right there.
Absolutely.
Also DeAndre Jordan signed with the Nets too. That was one I wanted to mention as well.
Okay.
I forgot about DeAndre Jordan.
How about we're going down a list on NBA.com. There's a great free agency tracker that's broken down there. We are looking at a couple of names that are unsigned. To me, one that stands out is Pau Gasol. He's been in the league a long time, 18 years, but he proves as a contributor to a team. Someone's got to be able to pick him up.
I actually think he had a pretty solid role with Milwaukee kind of throughout the year. He didn't, if I remember correctly, he did get injured this past year. So who knows if he's going to come back from what happened with an injury for him. But the Bucks have done some pretty good, pretty good job this year. They have obviously made it all the way to the finals there. They ended up being able to re-sign Brooks Lopez, which was huge for them. They did also keep Chris Middleton as well too, which was big for them, and they also kept Eric Bledsoe. So I don't know that they necessarily need to bring Pau Gasol back at that age, unless they wanted to bring him back as maybe like a player coach or something like that. But that definitely is a name that's been out there for a long time. That's technically still out there. Vince Carter's one too. I'm sure Vince Carter's old as heck. He's been in the league 21 years. So but there's some other big names out there that there's one that's still technically unsigned, and that's Klay Thompson. He says he wants to be back in Golden State, but as of today, at least based off of what I have, he is not officially signed with Golden State. So
that's a big one.
That's a big one. Golden State could go from being the complete dominant player to being completely irrelevant.
Yeah,
very quickly in the West. They're still going to be one of the top 5 teams if their lineup comes back as is right now, but they're not the best team in the West anymore, I don't believe. By a long shot. I mean, you still got some other really good young players out there as well too, like Kristaps Porzingis in Dallas. So just check in on where it's going. Oh, and Jimmy Butler went to the Heat. That was a big trade too. So the Heat are going to be in it as well.
That's a pretty good segue, though, talking about Golden State Warriors. Are they possibly irrelevant? That is my who you got for this episode. I wanted to throw into this rundown, and that is really boiling down, in my mind, down to 2 teams. Now, I think there's a third team out there. We'll touch base on it. that could be in this conversation. But to me, after this big trade with Westbrook going into Houston, is Golden State no longer the number one